Welcome back. Today we're climbing at Bloc Shop, which is one of my favorite gyms in the whole world. I've traveled a lot over the last decade in my competing career, and I've been to a lot of gyms, and Bloc Shop is near the top, if not number one, in my favorite gyms of all time. There are just so many good hard boulders, and I honestly realized a couple times ago when I was climbing here, I can say something about this gym that I don't think I can say about any other gym in the world, is that you look around and there's not one single bad boulder on the entire gym. Everything is a 5-star quality product. You can really see the effort that they put in, like the setting team. And I just always enjoy myself when I'm climbing at this gym. And they're known for having a lot of hard boulders as well. You can see here I was trying to black tape in the beginning. I'm trying another one here. Black tape is the second hardest. At this gym, white tape is the hardest, and they usually only have 1 or 2 white tapes. It's almost like a bonus grade. It's like black is like the normal hardest grade, and then white is like the bonus hard grade. And that's what they do at a few of these gyms in Montreal. White tapes are kind of the hardest everywhere. So I've probably had maybe 3 or 4 weekend, maybe like 5-day trips to Montreal to climb at Bloc Shop. And I have never sent every boulder in the gym. There's 2 Bloc Shop locations, and the original one, Chabanel, which I'm climbing at here, is a bit bigger and it's got more boulders. Typically it has more hard boulders as well. I've never sent all the boulders here, and so that was the goal for this trip. I'm here for about a week and a half, 2 training weeks for me, so like 12 days. And I thought, that's probably gonna be a pretty good amount of time. I think I can send every boulder in the gym. I've never done it. It'd be pretty fun. But this session, as you can see, I'm already off to a great start. I've got 2 black tapes under my belt. Usually, these black tapes, you could take like 5 or 6 tries. I don't usually flash them. But as the session went on, I kept sending black tape after black tape. And there were 2 white tapes up in the gym. I decided I was going to save those for the next session after a rest day when I was a bit fresher. They looked quite hard. So I was just going to try and see if I could do most of the black tapes. And I just kept sending and sending. And then I realized this goal of sending the whole gym is going to be very achievable. And actually, by the end of the session, I had done all the black tapes except for two that one of them was like super crimpy. I didn't want to try it. My fingers weren't feeling super solid on this day. And another one I just decided to save for the next training day. But yeah, I was pretty excited. I've never sent this amount of boulders this quickly at Bloc Shop. So it was pretty motivating, but I had a hard time telling if it was maybe just a bit of a softer set or if I was actually just feeling a lot better than the previous times I've been here. It might have been a bit of both. But it was also exciting because it meant that I didn't have to spend as many sessions at this location as I thought, and I would be able to feature more gyms because Montreal has had a lot of gyms opening recently. Me and Maddie went a few times at the end of last year and the beginning of this year before we moved, and it's like every time we went for the weekend we've heard of a new gym opening. So I'll actually be checking out a couple more gyms while I'm here. So after my 3rd black tape send of that green boulder, I was super psyched. The momentum of the session was building, and then I sent this blue one here. This one was super cool. These slopers were really bad, and I was feeling strong pinching them. And I was just sending and sending. And while I know Bloc Shop is definitely known for being like a grade or 2 soft, if you can see they have the V grades on these boulders actually as well. You can kind of look at the V grades and subtract 1 or 2 off most of the time. I think the white tapes are usually pretty accurate, but when you see like V11, it's maybe 9 or 10, and same with 10 is actually probably 8 or 9. So I just kind of usually I just look at the tape color and I just use that to kind of, that's all I focus on. I don't like to focus on V grades as a comp climber. But yeah, so I was trying not to let it go to my head too much, all the sending, but I was definitely feeling that a bit of a magic feeling during the session and yes, the previous day as well in Kingston, which is the feeling of just like I can send everything that's put in front of me, which is a nice feeling, and I haven't felt it in a while actually, especially with my time off of climbing, and I was injured even before I took my time off of climbing. I was hurt for a while. So it's been a long time since I had experienced the feeling of just being unstoppable, which is really nice. And especially with our events coming up. I was actually, I'm a little worried, like I'm not quite peaking quite yet, but I was a little worried that I'm like peaking a bit too early, and I gotta make sure I'm able to carry this through to when I want it. But yeah, like it is super good feeling. I wasn't like in this whole session, I didn't not send a boulder. I didn't try the 2 hardest boulders in the gym, but yeah, I've never gone to Bloc Shop and just sent everything I touched. So I'm feeling super psyched, and I can't wait to put it to the test at these 2 events in the US coming up. So I say that I was feeling unstoppable as we're watching me have a bit of a struggle fest on this red tape, which is 1 below black. So this is like the V8-9 grade range. And I'm like falling all over the slab. I got trapped thinking that this was kind of like a double clutch Gaston dyno in the middle here when it actually wasn't. This left hole that I'm grabbing is like this slopey crimp. It's super, super bad. And so I thought I just kind of wasn't gonna be able to grab it. I had to jump out of the move as fast as I could. But it turns out if I just like slow down a bit and mashed it, I could just reach over to the sloper. That's oftentimes what will trip me up in slab, is I'll always think it's a quick movement when in reality it's something slow that I should be going for. So I was able to do that last slab, and then this slab I fell once at the finish, and this is my 2nd attempt. This last move is quite cool. This is actually a move that me and Maddie kind of, well no, she made it up herself, this dynamic front flag to get the upside down finish hold. I've done this a couple times with her in the past, so it's nice to use it again. So today's hangboard is actually pretty exciting. We're switching up the format of our workout a bit. We are doing, this is our 2nd session of doing 2 to 5 second hangs, but now what we're doing, instead of 5 or 4 sets of 2 reps for each hang, we're gonna do 6 sets of 1 hang. So I'm basically just gonna do a hang every 2 minutes. I have 2-minute rest in between each hang. And this is just like where I'm really gonna start pushing the weight. And especially with, they're not even 5-second hangs, they're gonna be 2 to 5 seconds. It's just gonna be as hard as I can. As long as I'm hitting 2 seconds, I'm gonna call it a successful rep. But yeah, I wanna see, I think my goal is I would love to do a 20-pound hang on this edge, like right before Vail. And it's gonna be pretty close. Today I was able to do 10 pounds for like I think 3 of my sets, and then I was getting zapped pretty fast, so I had to go down to 5 pounds. But yeah, this is where we're really gonna start putting it to the test and trying to increase the weight as much as possible. So my hangs went quite well. I was feeling really strong. But pinch block was another story. I don't know what it was. I guess it was a little bit warm, but the pinch block didn't feel that slimy. But I was really struggling today. Like when I was warming up, 60. Like usually I'll just do a 60-pound lift as my first lift, just to kind of. Usually I can tell just after my 60-pound lift how well the day's gonna go. And it was hard to lift 60 pounds off the ground, and consider a couple sessions ago we were doing 72, like no problem. Yeah, a little bit of a problem, but yeah, I was not super psyched about that. So I'm doing 65 pounds, which is not super good. Like this is where we're trying to push the weight, and already I'm like 7.5 pounds lower than what I was doing a few sessions ago, and it was a struggle too. I wasn't even getting 5 seconds on all my reps. So hopefully I can, that was just like a bad day, but I don't know. We're going up 5 pounds today with our one arms, 15 pounds. And with the 2 rep range, I usually just alternate. because these, like the 2 reps are gonna be pretty close to my max limit. And so we're not like trying to do these reps consecutively. So 15 pounds felt pretty comfortable, didn't fail any reps. And jump squats, I finally decided, okay, it's time to go up in weight. So instead of 2 20-pound dumbbells, we're using 2 25s. And I definitely felt the difference. They felt way less explosive and much harder. But it's kind of like a reset, and they feel the same as what they did on day 1 when we were just doing 20. And over those couple weeks, I felt the 20 pounds get better and better and more explosives. And so I'm sure we're just gonna see the same thing at 25. And then when 25 is feeling how 20 was at the end of our BC training trip, then we'll go up to 30 again. One thing that I haven't mentioned actually with my dips is, especially when I'm trying at my max range, when I'm locking out my arms at the last quarter of the dip, I used to get cramps a lot, like tricep cramps, when I was like really trying hard, and I'm still kind of dealing with it a little bit. So I am very careful at the last like half of my dip to just load like my shoulders more almost, but it's weird. Like I got tricep cramps a lot. So that's always why it was hard for me to train dips in the past as well. And I just neglected them for so long, but I decided I just got to figure out a way around the cramps and actually train it because it's such a weakness. So tomorrow is going to be a rest day, and then the next session we'll probably come back to this location of Bloc Shop and try the white tapes that we didn't get on today, the 2 hardest ones. They look really hard, so that should be a lot of fun. Today was a lot of sending and I got a lot of volume in, but like the other thing I love about Bloc Shop is they put up some really hard boulders that I've had some of my best sends at Bloc Shop where I'll just take like 3 sessions to do a boulder, and it's always super rewarding. And then definitely I want to check out the new Alley Up gym sometime in the coming days. I've been there a couple times, but one of the times I actually wasn't climbing. I was just watching Maddie climb because it was during my rest a couple months. And then the other time was like in my second week back after the 2 months off. So I haven't had like a proper session there, and it looks like it's such a cool gym and I want to climb there again. So that's what we have to look forward to coming up. Tune in.